now on News Channel 6 at 10, chaos in an Augusta neighborhood Sunday night. Why the sheriff's office is cracking down on a curfew straight ahead. And more animals in local shelters. Why that number increases during the summer and how you can help. As Your News at 10 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 10 on BTV.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Means. We do thank you for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office enforcing a curfew for people under the age of 18. That's after a shooting in the Harrisburg neighborhood last night. Happened about 8 o'clock near Green Street and Crawford Avenue. Investigators say a 16-year-old was shot and hospitalized. Deputies detained 5 teenagers with a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old charged with aggravated assault. Neighbors are calling on law enforcement to take action.
I think it's completely out of character. 12 years ago, I would have said, nope, it's completely in character, but in the last 10 or 12 years, it's just changed dramatically for the better. If the sheriff and our churches and our other civic organizations can find ways to get to these kids soon enough and show them that there's another way, then more power to them.
The Sheriff's Office is working on creative ways to reach youth this summer, including youth organization camps and nighttime basketball. A Richmond County man behind bars after what investigators call the largest meth bust in Augusta history. Jaquez Sturgis charged with meth and fentanyl trafficking. Investigators searched properties on Hale Street, Tybee Court, and Marks Church Road. And during those searches, they say they found more than 2,300 grams of fentanyl and 20 kilos of meth, along with guns and cash. More arrests could be coming as this investigation continues. It is time now for our first look at the weather. Our chief meteorologist, Jenna Petracci, is here now with that.
Well, Brad, after a very rainy end to the month of May, we are starting out the month of June on a very nice dry note. So here's a live look in on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam in North Augusta. You can actually still tell it's a little bit hazy out there. I did see a beautiful sunset earlier, and you may have noticed the stunning sunsets as well. That's the benefit of this Canadian wildfire smoke, is at least it's making for those nice sunsets. But you've probably noticed how smoky it's been outside lately. Luckily not impacting our air quality too bad, though. Tomorrow we will still have hazy conditions, and we're going to keep it dry for one more day. We had a chillier start to our Monday, upper 50s, then a nice warm afternoon in the upper 80s. It's a little bit warmer than this time last night by a few degrees, and that's putting our temperatures in the 70s still. 73 in Barnwell, Augusta at 71, 75 in Lincolnton. You can see here on satellite and radar that we have high pressure moving in. Once again, that'll keep things dry and quiet for our Tuesday. Winds are coming in light out of the northeast, only up to 3 miles per hour. And tomorrow morning we'll have calm winds of temperatures in the 60s. Looking ahead, we will introduce those rain chances starting on Wednesday, and I'll have more details coming up in the full forecast. But back to you, Brad.
All right, Jenna, thanks. A new effort to help the homeless in Augusta is raising concerns in one neighborhood. The Salvation Army proposing a new Center of Hope shelter on Hale Street, right across from the fairgrounds. It's also a block away from May Park. Commissioners getting a letter from Old Town residents saying, yeah, they want to see a new shelter, just not there.
But the question will always remain, is this the best location for it? Not only do we have May Park in the neighborhood, you also have the fairgrounds. So we have the fair every year. Is this the best place to host folks? And so those are going to be conversations that we have to center ourselves around as we make a decision.
Commissioners scheduled to hear from Old Town residents when they meet to talk about that proposed location tomorrow. Summer sure is a busy time of year for local animal shelters. Isabella Moody tonight looking at why they take in more animals this time of year.
The SPCA Albrecht Center for Animal Welfare is busier than normal this time of year. Workers there say there are some ways that you can help.
I always say if you can adopt, foster. If you can't foster, volunteer. And if you can't volunteer, just spread the word. It helps to share our story, to share our mission, because someone somewhere out there can see animals like this one every day and fall in love.
In April, there were 150 total dog and cat intakes and 225 in May. Dogs and cats are having to double or triple up in their rooms because of the influx of animals.
We have had a lot of intakes, a huge number of increase in intakes for both cats and dogs and puppies as well. It's a lot, and we want the resources and we need the resources to take care of that increase.
Being at capacity not only affects the shelter's staff and resources, it puts stress on the animals having to share space together.
We only have, so many resources, not necessarily only monetary resources, but when it comes to space, time, and staff, we are way past capacity to the point that a lot of puppies are living, all day in crates.
Garrett also says puppies have to stay in their crates other than when they're being walked a few times a day.
For more information on adoption and their events coming up, you can find that on WJBF.com. In Aiken, Isabella Moody, WJBF News Channel 6.
Well, it looks like Georgia Farm.
And it's a warm and dry start to the month of June, but I am tracking some rain chances as we get into the middle of the week, and I'm also tracking the tropics. I'll have your latest tropical update when we return.
You're all right. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Welcome back. So like I mentioned at the top of the show, we did have a beautiful sunset tonight, and here's the photo I captured right here in Augusta. Gorgeous view. And if you captured any photos of the sunset tonight, or maybe you saw a beautiful one over the weekend, you can send those my way, and I can feature them in the newscast. Now here's a live look in on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam in North Augusta. We do have mostly clear skies tonight, and it's still nice and comfortable. We're sitting in the lower 70s, a north wind coming in very light at just 3 miles per hour. Our current temperatures are in the low to mid 70s across the board. It is a little bit above average with high pressure in control. We had this weak cold front come through, didn't bring us any rain or clouds. This high pressure will continue to bring in some dry air, and it'll be a nice dry day tomorrow. Now down in Florida, different story. It's very cloudy, and there's also a ton of rain happening now and down in South Florida. And this is actually part of what we're watching for the first time this season. It was just the first day of hurricane season yesterday, and right on cue, the National Hurricane Center now has invest number 1, and that's this yellow shaded area here along the Georgia and South Carolina coastline. So it's this disturbance here that's going to move into the Atlantic, and when it does so, it's possible that it could strengthen a bit and gain some tropical characteristics. But I do not want you to panic here. This is nothing to worry about. This is just a rainmaker. The chance of it even becoming a tropical depression is very low, and the higher impacts will be along the South Carolina coastline. So for us, we're just talking a few light showers on Wednesday night, maybe some weak storms. As we go through time here, a lot of this activity is still going to be along the North Carolina coastline at that point. But with all this moisture around, we will still have pretty high rain chances as we go into the next several days. We'll have that low pressure out in the Atlantic, and then we'll also have a cold front coming in from the west. So just an unsettled weather pattern all the way into next week as well. And I know when we're talking tropics, the main concern here is the wind. So I do want to ease your mind with that and show you the wind gusts here are really not looking too high. Yes, it will be breezy as we get into Wednesday. We're talking gusts maybe between 20 to 30 miles per hour, but I'm not tracking any high winds. And I'm also not concerned about flooding or strong storms at this time. And then you can see those higher wind gusts start to move out of the way as we get to Thursday. So it's just going to be a 20% chance of rain on Wednesday. Then those rain chances increase to 50% Thursday through Saturday. And our wettest days out of the week look to be Sunday and Monday. But even with all that rain, we're still talking only around 1.5 inches, maybe 2.5 inches. And the good news with the rain and clouds is that'll keep our temperatures a bit more manageable. So we're not talking that extreme summertime heat just yet. So here's a look at your Tuesday forecast. Low 60s in the morning, upper 80s in the afternoon, sunny and dry. And our low temperatures tonight will be above average in the 60s. Highs tomorrow will be in the upper 80s. That 10-day forecast is showing the upper 80s for the most part over the next 10 days. And we'll see those rain chances go up on Sunday and Monday. Just a few storms in the forecast next week. And by the end of next week, we're also going to be keeping a close eye on the tropics as we could have some more activity. And that's a good reminder that the Atlantic hurricane season is underway, and this year we could be in for an active one. Here's meteorologist Miller Hyatt with more on what we can expect.
Hello everyone, meteorologist Miller Hyatt here. We are now in June, and you know what that means. Hurricane season is here. Whether you're a longtime resident or a new resident to the area, it's important to understand that this is the time of the year to be prepared because we have a threat from tropical systems as we're so close to the Gulf and also the Atlantic Ocean. So let's first take a look at what to expect here. The early indications show that we're going to be seeing an above average season here. So take note that on average we see 14 named storms Colorado State says we're going to be seeing 17 this year, and NOAA says 13 to 19. So they're on the same page. We're likely going to be seeing more storms than usual. So breaking it down further, hurricanes on average we see 7. Both Colorado State and NOAA say we're going to be seeing likely more than that. 9 Colorado State. NOAA says 6 to 10. So major hurricanes, which are Cat 3, 4, and 5, on average we see about 3 of those. And Colorado State says we're going to be seeing 1 more than average. 3 to 5 is what NOAA is forecasting. So it's not all doom and gloom. There are some good news here. Key improvements that the National Hurricane Center is making this year. Warnings can now be issued up to 72 hours out instead of 48. That is fantastic news. That can prepare the public even earlier. The cone of uncertainty is 3 to 5% tighter, and new graphics show better looking overlapping hurricane and tropical storm warnings here. So you can see that on your screen. On the left is the operational, but on the right is the experimental. And if you want to preview how much clearer and more helpful these new graphics are, just look at last year's Hurricane Helene. While it didn't directly track through Augusta, we were on the right side, the dirty side of the system, which means we had the worst impacts from Helene. So that is just very important to remember that even though the track doesn't show the system tracking right through the area, if we're on the right side of the tropical system, that means we're going to be seeing very bad impacts, and that's exactly what we saw, unfortunately, from Helene. So I have more details on my blog beyond the forecast, what to expect from this hurricane season. You can visit that at WJBF.com, and next week I'll be talking more about what to expect this hurricane season.
Still ahead, we're going to have reaction from Washington, D.C. to that terror attack in Boulder, Colorado. Hear what folks in our nation's capital have to say as the investigation gets underway in a moment.
Every hero needs a sidekick, especially for tasks like roofing. Leave that up to us, the professionals. Well, located. So you can do main character things, like the dishes.
So did you fix the roof?
Oh, you know it. Just another day of being your superhero.
And the laundry?
Your roof needs fixing.
Call Mr. Hickey.
I request a code.
Every day, ordinary people in the CSRA do extraordinary things to serve our community. Each month, News Channel 6 recognizes these outstanding volunteers with the Giving Your Best Award. Do you know an everyday hero who goes the extra mile to help others? Nominate them for the Giving Your Best Award by visiting WJBF.com and filling out the entry form.
Sponsored by Science Co., Piedmont Augusta, Security Federal Bank, and News Channel 6. Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
The start of summer football workouts officially kicked off across the CSRA, and many of those teams have new faces on their coaching staff, including new Westside head coach Cedric Mason and a familiar name at offensive coordinator.
Man, it feels good to get back out. I've been involved with football since I was 6 years old. So last year was the first time in over 30 years that I hadn't been on the field during the season. So it was a little bit difficult for me, not being around the game that I love.
Former Midland Valley coach Earl Chapman is one of 13 coaches on head man Cedric Mason's new staff. Of course, many remember Chapman's story. He was facing a domestic violence charge after being arrested last July. And even though that charge was dropped, Chapman's record was cleared. He was not able to return to his post as Midland Valley's head coach, despite much success.
It went from being great to pretty bad. That's what it felt like to me anyway. But it was a struggle. It was embarrassing, to have your character questioned, to have to deal with things and not necessarily be able to defend yourself.
But now he's Westside's offensive coordinator. It's a fresh start for both the Patriots and Chapman, who says he's excited to return to a sense of normalcy with the game he's loved since he was a child.
Being back out here now, being with a great group of young guys that want to work, want to get better, it just feels good to be able to do what I love again.
And the coach has some wisdom to pass along to anyone in a public-facing position who finds themselves fighting for their reputation.
Reminding yourself of the things that you've done, the people that you've impacted in a positive way, and the things that you're going to continue to do going forward.
Now over to esports. ARC's Musketeer Strike headed to the National Clavius Cup Championship. The ARC squad took down San Marcos High School out of California 3-2 in a best-of-5 semifinal in Street Fighter 6. The team is comprised of 3 players. They will face off against the Science Academy of South Texas on Wednesday. The winner gets $4,500 in scholarship money, while the second-place winner gets $3,000. Now over to minor league baseball. The Augusta Green Jackets, they have the day off Monday before returning back to SRP Park. They're taking on the Fayetteville Woodpeckers, a former divisional rival of theirs. The Green Jackets, they're coming off a series against the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, winning 4 out of their last 5 games. They're now in sole possession of first place with 15 games left to play in the first half. First pitch set for 7:05 p.m. Tuesday. Now, the Atlanta Braves also have the day off before returning back to the Diamond. They'll play a 3-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, Atlanta's second to last in the National League East, while the D-backs, they're also in the same position, but in the NL West. First pitch set for Tuesday, 7:15 at Truist Park, with Spencer Strider set to take the mound for Atlanta. That's it for sports. We'll be right back.
Every day, ordinary people in the CSRA do extraordinary things to serve our community. Each month, News Channel 6 recognizes these outstanding volunteers with the Giving Your Best Award. Do you know an everyday hero who goes the extra mile to help others? Nominate them for the Giving Your Best Award by visiting WJBF.com and filling out the entry form.
Sponsored by Science Co., Piedmont Augusta, Security Federal Bank, and News Channel 6.
Deals on everything you need. Ultimate bargain event.
To hit the weather, you need to see the whole picture. That's why Live Viper 6 gives you the Skyview Network. Get a live view of traffic and weather from all over the CSRA. Available online 24 hours a day at WJBF.com and the free Live Viper 6 mobile app. The WJBF Live Viper 6 Skyview Network. Powered by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Low prices, big selection, and committed to quality customer service. Is rainy weather putting a damper on your day? Enter to win your very own Live Viper 6 umbrella today. Visit WJBF.com and click on Contest. Then fill out the entry form for your chance to win.
Getting your hands on a Live Viper 6 umbrella has never been easier.
That's right. Lucky winners will be announced weekdays on News Channel 6 at 6.
Who knows? It could be you.
Sponsored by Busby's Heating and Air. When quality matters, call Busby's. Trusted since 1945.
And last but not least, have you ever wondered what it would be like to be in a life-size board game?
Well, a studio in Charlotte created an immersive twist to Monopoly. John Lee has the story.
If you're willing to roll the dice, an old classic can feel new again.
Tell me how much red there is.
A whole lot of red.
I'm red now.
As always, the goal is staying out of the red.
Welcome to the board.
This is so cool!
And this is how they...
Oh!
Monopoly Life Size is sizably bigger than Allie Sanderson is used to.
7, 8, 9, 10, left one. Yes, so this is 18.
She found herself on the Rubber Ducks team.
Because it would make sense.
It almost felt like being on a game show because, you know, the lights and the sound and the interaction.
Then come back out and we'll handle your properties.
The token guides, Dusty Bones and Betty Boot,
Okay, go, go, go!
help them through elation
Ooh, that's the highest money prize there is.
and frustration.
There's some screaming. I was like, I don't know what to do. If you're not angry, are you really playing it right? We don't want to get off to the wrong foot, for example. We just want to have fun.
Don't mind me just wearing a GoPro on my head. And yes, the atmosphere is electric.
Yes!
As in the electric company.
1, 2, 3 is in B. 3 is in B.
Each team is railroaded into challenges behind closed doors. Look, it's a Monopoly story. I got the
escape rooms.
Excuse me, can I hear some booze?
The race cars team is going to jail.
Boo! We boo the prisoners.
Boo birds for the jailbirds.
They're like legit in jail.
Roughly 15 minutes sure feels like years, especially when you're a mom with a baby.
How does it feel to be in jail right now?
It's a life-changing experience for sure, and one that we will not forget.
In life, some days are down and some days are up, but jail is fun here at Monopoly Life Size. Just stick it right in the sold sign. Woo! We got houses and properties. This is exciting.
At least they don't monopolize your time. Monopoly Life Size lasts about 70 minutes, just long enough to test your team's strength.
Where's Italy go? I wanted to come and try this so that I could test it out to see if my marriage would survive. Because my husband and I, we always get, really competitive with one another in Monopoly, and I will say I think we can handle this.
On this day, the Scotty Dogs won.
Yeah!
Can someone tell them it's actually not a game show?
How's it feel?
So good, bro. Don't know how that happened.
Finally, the race cars took a group photo before they got out of jail.
I have to go. They're like recording this. It's very dramatic.
In Charlotte, John Lee.
There was a movie about the guy who was inside video games. It was called Guy or some guy something. Anyway, but now you can go inside a board
But
game.
that looks awesome. I
Yeah.
would love that. Always was a big fan of Monopoly, all the
Huge
different
fan.
versions.
Yeah.
So I would love
It's
that.
great. Yeah, I love board games. They're a ton of fun.
They're a great time, no
Yeah.
question about it.
And you may want to get those board games out for this weekend because, guys, it's looking a little bit wet for that first full weekend of June. We're tracking around a 50 to 60% chance of rain and storms. Tomorrow will be a nice, dry, and sunny day, though. It's going to be pretty warm over the next 10 days, but not too hot. We're staying away from the 90s for now.
Sounds good. Well, Jenna, we appreciate that. Gianna as well. And thank you all for watching. We're back at the top of the hour for News Channel 6 at 11.
And Hogan's Heroes is next here on MeTV.
Have a great night.
Good night.